instrument. So, ang research instrument, nandun sa PowerPoint na present ko last time, in the form of survey, in the form of poll, mga survey questionnaires in Likert form. Pwede yung questionnaires ninyo ay structured questionnaire. So, kanya is ginamit niya structured questionnaire, meaning to say it is adapted from previous study. So, it can be, class, it can be adapted or adapted. So when you adopt, that means 100% of the questionnaire will be used by the researcher, or yung sa inyo, gagamitin nyo talaga yung mismong questionnaire nyo na nakuha doon sa previous study. But it needs to have permission from original or from the source. When you say adapted naman, it is contextualized according to the situation. Meron kayong dinagdag na mas applicable siya sa situation or sa locality ninyo, sa research problem na nakita ninyo, meaning it is semi-structured. Okay? So that's how you look for questionnaires. Meron din tayong tinatawag na mga guide questions lang. Pwede din ganyan, or yung questionnaires natin, this one here, can be answered. Pwede siyang yes or no, or in Likert scale. Okay? So, you will try to look for the best instruments that can answer that can quantify your data. Okay. The next part of the research methodology is the data collection and procedure. So dito, isusulat ninyo ano yung simula, first letter of consent, and then the next step. So ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod na gagawin ninyo. And the last portion of your research methodology is how you will process your data. So data processing. So data processing may use statistical treatment. Pwedeng inferential, pwedeng hindi. Pwedeng descriptive lang. So meron tayong descriptive, merong inferential. Okay? So si descriptive class is very simple. You can do it on your own. Yun yung ating yung mean or yung average or the standard deviation. Are you familiar with this? So, yun yung mga descriptive descriptive type of processing data. Si inferential naman, kailangan niya ng statistical treatment. Okay. So, ano yung type ng statistical treatment? It depends now on the relationship that you want to measure according to your variables. So, balikan natin kanina doon sa demographics ng mothers. Di ba na-mention doon sa independent variable na age, and then it has an arrow directly proportional to knowledge. And the last statement of the problem says, what is the significant difference between the demographic profile of the respondents? Do you follow? I-type ko ha. So, for example, age. Tapos, gusto nyo malaman anong effect ni age sa knowledge of mothers. Okay. Si age class, isa siyang demographic element. Pero, pwede siyang may subgroup. Pwede nyo siyang i-divide into 3 or into 2 or into 3. So, pwede ang age, ano ba yung nabasa ninyo? Yung mga young mothers ba may different level of knowledge sa mga young adults na naging mothers or sa mga menopausal na naging mothers? So, yung inyong questionnaire should contain a bracket or a groupings for age. So, for example, meron kayong below 18 years old, Meron kayong 19 to 35 years old. Tapos, kailan ba nagsa-start ng, parang premenopausal baby? So, mga, for example, 36 to 45 years old. May nabubuntis ka bang 45? So, let's say, for example, lang ganyan. So, that is 3 groups, di ba? So, group 1, group 2, and group 3. Ano yung effect nila? Ano yung difference nila? Gusto nyo tingnan, may difference ba yung mga young mothers between normal age, young adults, and between elderly or mga early menopausal babies? So, this type of question needs inferential statistics. Okay, but we will have an in-depth discussion on that next meeting. Just a primer, if you can remember, if you will compare significant difference of 2 groups, independent groups, we will utilize t-test. Can you remember t-test? I hope you can still remember t-test. Or if we will have group 3, kung tatlong grupo ang titingnan ninyo for significant difference, that's the time yung ating ANOVA ang gagamitin. So, no undergraduate natin, nire-recite lang natin ang part ng statistical treatment. Pero deep inside, during our defense, nanginginig tayo, baka, oh my God, baka tanungin ako about statistical treatment. Bakit ganito yung napili ko? Or bakit ganito yung sabi ng statistician namin? Hindi mo alam bakit. So this time, you have to know why and how to process it using JASP. Okay? But if you have SPSS, that's better. Kay mas siya, higher ataw nito, pang expert siya. Pero si JASP, friendly kasi yung interface, tapos mabilis siyang maintindihan. So, yun. So, let's move forward with our sample study. So, sa kanya, meron siyang descriptive processing, si percentage. Di ba alam natin paano kumuha ng percentage? So, pwedeng tayo lang nito, hindi na kailangan ng statistician. Sa questionnaire natin, kukunin natin kung ilang percent ang may ganitong score. Si very low, si low, moderate, high, and very high. So, with your questionnaire class, you have to secure this data, how you will interpret your data. So, ang tawag dyan, descriptive equivalent or descriptive interpretation. Okay? So, kailangan yan later when you develop a questionnaire. Kasi anong silbi ng inyong data kung hindi nyo alam ang ibig sabihin, kung ang kanyang mean sa 100 na respondents, may 50 katao na ang mean niya ay nasa 3.51 to 4.2 4.5. So dapat meron kayong matrix na ganito. So maraming basis or maraming sources ng mga matrices, and it depends on your topic, on your problem, and in your questionnaire. And that will be decided within your group members and with the help of your research advisors. Okay? So, ganyan. So, this time, ang ginamit ng ating students, meron silang t-test and one-way ANOVA. So, dalawa yung kanilang ginamit na statistical, inferential statistics. Okay. And you have to state your statistical significance level. And for clinical researches, we allow or we accept 0.05. That means 95% of your data should be acceptable or correct. Or we only allow 5% error. But class for clinical trials class is just an example of a clinical research. Okay, I hope you are following. So clinical trial involves drugs, di ba? Involves human lives. So meron siyang different population group kung saan ibibigay yung gamot, just like the vaccine right now. Russia said they have a very successful and effective vaccine. We have to check for their clinical trial result. And we have in our topics later how to review clinical trials. But with the statistical significance level for clinical trials, error is limited to 1%. Yan. Dapat 99% tama at acceptable ang result ng clinical trial. Okay? So right after the technical methodology, this is the next part or the last part of your methodology, the ethical considerations. And we will have another part for this section, another discussion for this section. So I will show you a sample questionnaire so that you will really have a grasp on how to do it. I hope you can check this on your screen. So the questionnaire class, if you need to have a demographic profile, then you have to put a section of demographics. So mauna siya dapat. So ito. Yan. And the questionnaire, if you want the questionnaire to be answered by using Likert scale, so you will have this, oops. So you will have this section. Yan. So ito yung ating Likert scale. Okay? So analgesics, first question there on knowledge. So the questions are categorized according to the domains that you want to check. So if you want to check the domain for knowledge, then there is a section for knowledge. The questions. Analgesics are taken as needed for pain. So the respondent should choose between number 1 to number 5. So 1 is strongly agree and number 5 is strongly disagree. So with this type of Likert scoring, the lower the number of your answers, the total answers, the better. Diba? So you have to be mindful of your results. Kung malalaki yung number mo sa total scores, pasabot or ibig sabihin, they are, majority of them, commonly, may answer na strongly disagree. So, maraming questions. And the number of questions and the type of questions will be validated and checked by the panelists during your defense and by your advisors also. So, if we want to check attitude, nasabi nyo kanina attitude, then we will put a section on attitude. So, yan. So, one question on attitude is, I should immediately notify my physician, pharmacist, or nurse if any ADR is seen or observed. So, kung ang sabi ng respondent is uncertain, medyo mahirap interpret kasi nasa gitna siya. That's why this time, if we conduct this time our clinical research, we will limit our Likert scoring into 4. Okay? Para walang neutral. Remember that ha, kung magla-Likert scale kayo in the future, 4 scoring, Likert scale natin is 4 scoring lang. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walang walang neutral point. So, mahirap i-ascertain kung anong ibig sabihin ni number 3. So, hindi natin bibigyan ng choice yung ating respondent to answer safely si number